In this retelling of the beloved parable of the prodigal son, we will follow the journey of a young man, whom we have named Eli. His father, whom we have named Amos, is a wise and patient man. Though these are not the original biblical names, we have chosen them to bring the story to life while honoring the timeless lessons of grace, redemption, and forgiveness. Amos was a man who had given his life to the land and his family. The older son, Samuel, faithful and steady, content in his father's work. His heart was firmly planted at home, knowing his place and finding peace in his responsibilities. But the younger, his heart longed for distant lands, for the unknown, while his family's life was one of stability and peace. Eli yearned for something beyond these walls. Eli went to his father with a simple request, one that would change everything.
Father, I want my share of the inheritance now. I'm leaving to find my own way.
Amos's heart sank as he understood the weight of his son's request. But as a father, he knew he could not stand in the way of his son's journey.
I have worked my whole life for this family. But if it is your desire to go, then my son, I will give you what you ask.
And so, with a heavy heart, Amos prepared to give his son what he asked for. With his father's gift in hand, Eli stepped away, not knowing the cost of his choice. But the path he chose was now his own. Eli turned his back on all he knew, and with that, he stepped into the unknown. Amos stood in the quiet evening, watching his son vanish into the distance, his heart heavy with sorrow, but also with hope. Eli entered the city, a place full of promises and endless possibilities. He forgot about his father's estate, replaced by the excitement of the unknown. The city seemed to welcome him, offering everything: wealth, laughter from new friends, and the pleasures of the moment. He felt on top of the world. His money seemed endless, and with every coin spent, his happiness grew. But the more he spent, the closer he came to losing everything. Freedom was all he had ever wanted, and now he was living it fully. Surrounded by temptations, the lessons of home were forgotten. The world promised everything. As days passed, his money started to run out. The excitement of his new life slowly faded. Even though the world still offered everything, something inside him felt empty. The city that had welcomed him now seemed distant, and he had to face the consequences of his choices. The parties, the laughter, and the music were still there, but he felt like a stranger in the life he had chosen. The joy once found now felt like a distant memory. The truth hit hard. The world that had once embraced him now seemed cold. His wealth and status felt useless. The freedom he had longed for had come at a cost, and he was left to reflect on the choices that led him here. One by one, his riches slipped away. The people who had once surrounded him disappeared, leaving nothing but regret. With no money left, the world he had once loved now seemed like a memory. The joy and wealth were gone. Now only emptiness remained. Eli wandered the streets. The city that had once welcomed him now felt cold. He was hungry and tired. The pig's food, once something he would never have touched, now seemed like a lifeline. Then, in his despair, a thought hit him. What if he went back home? What if there was still a way back? He thought about his father's house. The servants there had plenty to eat, far more than he had now. Eli's path was uncertain, but his heart knew it was the right one. He was going home, no matter the cost, no matter how broken he was. He would return to his father. Amos stood at the edge of his estate, his heart aching with longing. He had been waiting, watching, praying, hoping for his son's return. And in the quiet of the evening, he saw something in the distance. His heart raced. There on the horizon was Eli. A flood of emotions hit him: relief, joy, and overwhelming love. Without thinking, Amos ran. His legs moved faster than he could understand, driven by love that had never faded. When they finally met, everything else seemed to stop.
My son.
Eli was speechless, overwhelmed by the love his father showed. In that moment, all the years of separation, pain, and shame faded away. He was home, but Eli, still feeling guilty, pulled back for a moment. His eyes were filled with regret, and his heart was torn.
Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.
Amos looked at him with compassion, no anger in his eyes.
You are my son, and you are lost no more.
Without hesitation, Amos ordered the best robe and the family ring to be brought. The feast was to begin. This was a day to celebrate, for the son who was lost had been found. As they walked toward the house, the sounds of celebration filled the air. That night, the table was set and the feast began. The past was forgiven and a new beginning started. But from the fields, Samuel, the older son, came back. The sounds of celebration reached his ears. Unable to hold back his feelings, Samuel asked one of the servants,
"Why is there a feast? Why are they celebrating?"
The servant, with a knowing smile, explained,
Your brother has returned, and your father has ordered a feast to celebrate his homecoming.
The words hurt Samuel's heart, but they also made something inside him break. He had stayed, worked, and obeyed. Yet his brother, who had wasted everything, was being treated like nothing had happened. Unable to hold back his frustration, Samuel stormed into the feast, his voice breaking the joy.
"You never gave me a feast like this. But he who wasted everything is welcomed home like a king.
He shouted.
I've been here, working, while he squandered everything. Why does he deserve this?"
Amos's heart ached as he looked at Samuel, his son who had stayed, worked, and obeyed. He spoke gently, but with the love only a father can have.
My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we must celebrate and be glad, because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.
As the celebration continued around them, Eli sat with Amos, his heart heavy with gratitude. He had once been lost. He had wasted much, seeking fulfillment in empty places. But in his father's forgiveness, he found something that was deeper than any treasure he had once sought: his father's love. And so, as Jesus was telling this parable, the true meaning became clear. This was not just the story of a son returning home. It was a picture of God's unending grace and mercy. No matter how far we wander, no matter how lost we may feel, God, like Amos, will always welcome us back with open arms. His love does not waver. His forgiveness knows no bounds. And his heart is always ready to embrace us. And just like that, we are reminded that no matter how far we fall, no matter how broken we may feel, God's love is always there, waiting, patient, and ever present. His arms are open wide, ready to heal, ready to restore. And all we need to do is turn back to him.
What